I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down maybe on, well, I guess just a normal, peaceful, overcast afternoon? I don't do that as often anymore, but tonight I decided to go out anyway. For as long as I can remember, I've always had a fondness for the outdoors. I've always loved my walks, and despite how chubby I've been for most of my life, I've always loved biking and physical activities outside. It's because of this that I find it so unfortunate that I haven't spent much time to do so, mostly because of work. Tonight, or yesterday night, depending on when I write and record this, was the first time in a long time that I felt the same pull toward the brisk afternoon air. The last time I remember being this excited to go outside my house would probably have been when the new dollar store was opened. I didn't have high hopes for it, if I'm being honest, but in this small town, even something as simple as a dollar store opening up is about as shocking and impactful as the second coming of Christ, and naturally word spreads very fast. As soon as I'd first visited, it felt like entering a whole new dimension, a dimension full of reasonable prices and name-brand food items. Intimidating, isn't it? I've gone down a frankly embarrassing amount of times now, usually just to peruse the exact same aisles and watch them slowly fill up, but that first time entering was absolutely mind-blowing for a small-town creature like myself. Immediately after entering the doors, my expectations were beat. I hadn't expected much more than the other, much more ghetto dollar store that we already had, but this new store felt like a huge leap for somewhere like here. It's probably a little silly for someone like me to be so invested in something so simple, but you really have to be there to understand. Maybe you still wouldn't, I don't know. Despite it only having been 1 week-ish since quitting my job, I can say without any shadow of a doubt that the mental clarity has been nothing short of absolutely incredible. It feels amazing to finally be able to sit down and finish a project, like this script you're hearing right now. And I don't think that I could have timed things any better either. My channel is just starting to gain some traction, and it's timed perfectly with my newfound desire to make content, coupled with my returning thoughtfulness and composed personality. This corner of the internet has seen a lot of history, but I feel like I've finally found the general theme of content that is enjoyable to watch and produce, and it seems like YouTube really enjoys that too. I've tried many times to start a YouTube channel before. Often, probably, for the wrong reasons, at much the wrong age. I don't think I realized until recently that it could become my general themed creative outlet, but I think that's been the big difference between this and previous attempts. I don't think I've ever really understood which of my crafts is my main hobby. I get a lot of enjoyment from music, art, game development, programming, and now video creation. I often worried that would make me inferior in all of them, jack of all trades, master of none, or whatever. But perhaps that isn't the case. I struggle whenever I talk about my endeavors. I don't want to come off as boastful, but I do genuinely think that a lot of the things I create are interesting, and in some cases even impressive in some regard. It's possible I'm just full of myself and nothing I do is much above par. I try and stay humble just in case that's true. But it's also probable that I don't necessarily need a primary hobby. Maybe all of my creative works are perfectly fine on their own, and they can share that primary role. We may never know, or maybe we will. Maybe you already know. Maybe my mom already knows, but I can't know, you know? I think everyone would benefit from taking some time in each day, or at least sometime a few days a week, to unplug and breathe in the crystallizing cold air. To watch the pink lining on the clouds turn to orange and then quickly to the dim blue of night. It's something we all take for granted, with how much time we spend in front of our screens, distracted by YouTube videos, realizing it's now 7 p.m. and you didn't even eat lunch. Our brains are like sponges. They soak up all of the information from everything we consume throughout the day. And if we never take time to wring out that sponge, then we can hardly expect to take on any new information or think clearly in any meaningful way. So, make a point to get out of the house. Today or tomorrow, give yourself time for just you. You may forever regret that 1 extra hour on your computer or phone, but you'll never forget the same time spent with the most important person you know.